So they'll be calling you a radical. So this is real important stuff because there's no investigative journalism. They've burned the books. They banned the books. The historic legacy of that here. Doing it again. So Trump. Now, why is no investigative journalism? Why did it take the New York Times 3,188 days to report the meltdowns of Fukushima? So the appellate court has ruled that Trump must turn over his Deutsche Bank records. Now, why is this important? Because the Deutsche Banker, who is Trump's banker, hung himself last week. He saw this coming down the line. Now, this gets deeper. You don't think this country's fucking had I mean, you're in denial. I mean, we just keep going on like there's nothing fucking wrong. Car America, cars, 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 cars. So, the Supreme Court, which is totally illegitimate, the United States Supreme Court, look, the media is totally captured. What are the hallmarks of a third world country? Underdeveloped? No, overdeveloped. What are the hallmarks? Incredible corruption. State-controlled media. We have both those. Corrupt governments. Illegitimate courts. We have those. Look, the Supreme Court. So, this is why this is a big deal. Why are you not all over this? So, Kennedy's son is Trump's Deutsche. I mean, this is where all this corruption comes from. Germany, same old thing. Deutsche Bank, yeah, Justice Kennedy, Supreme Court Justice Kennedy cut a backdoor deal to step down. He wasn't going to retire because his son is Trump's banker. They negotiate. This is an unarguable fact. Kennedy says, I'll step down. We negotiated a deal through Deutsche Bank if you name Kavanaugh. Now remember, who's Kavanaugh? Remember Trump ran against the Bush crime family, the Bush crime syndicate. He's the guy that hijacked the Supreme Court. The Bush, Florida lawyer, young Kavanaugh, by the way, was in the White House when 9/11 happened. He handpicked him. This is a big deal. Well, will we ever see this? Well, just like Trump says, when I get in office, first thing I'm going to do is show you the Kennedy files, which were supposed to be released in 2013. That was 50 years. You know, we'll hide them for 50 years. That's by law. Barry Antoinette Obama. Remember that the whistleblower came forward on the Swiss bank accounts. The United States has been suing for those for decades. Switzerland finally forked them over. Barry Antoinette Obama, the biggest phony, the anti-war guy, Peace Prize, who he killed more people than Bush by 4 or 5 times. The evil, sick, cover-up Fukushima, phony betrayer, Uncle Tom Obama, well, worse than that. I mean, what an insult to Uncle Tom Obama. Uncle Tom, he was fighting for trying to serve his life and his family. He says, I'll give you till New Year's Eve, 2012, to pay your back taxes, or I'm forking over the list. They never forked over any of the list. Barack Obama covered for them. Well, his owner. Who's his owner? Kissinger. Hillary Clinton. Well, before I go to Fukushima, her emails, I read them online, are all Fukushima cover-up. But you're shiny ballism. No investigative journalism whatsoever. So the appellate court says fork them over. You know what kind of toppling this would do if he does fork them over? He's not a billionaire. He's not even a millionaire. He's lost billions. He's the greatest con man in the history of the country. Second greatest con man in the history of the country. That's easy. Barack Obama. If he's African American, the champion of the underprivileged, and Nobel Peace Prize winner, Kevin Blanch is a rainbow striped unicorn. You know? So, what are the hallmarks of a third world country? No, let's go this way. Hurry before you get hit. Out of the hospital, get my blood drawn. So, state-controlled media. Yeah. Corrupt courts. Supreme Court's illegitimate. Not my words. Souter's words are sending. Bush did not win. Remember, 7 different private organizations went in the county. Florida. Wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. They were due to make their report when? September 15th, 2001. Something happened on the way to that place. 9/11, the New York Times, yes again, here we go. The New York Times, who waited 3,189 days to report the meltdowns of Fukushima. Wow. Buried it on the 19th page, just like Megan Rice when she broke into white. Buried it. He didn't win. You think Gore was going to point Alito and Roberts? No. How about Trump? Did he win? I highly doubt he won. Oh, we got the Electoral College. I don't think so. And they'll hack it again? Maybe. I mean, so you have illegitimate elections, you have illegitimate courts, you have corrupt, you have state-run media, controlled media, which is totally controlled. NSA, Patriot Act took care of all that. But you got horrible healthcare crisis. You got poverty, you got an incredible homeless situation, you got a population that's dying, longevity's going south, not longer. Don't drink the fucking water. Third world United States of America. Oh yeah. How come there's no investigative journalists digging this? All the vloggers and bloggers. Yeah, you think about it. They sit around, watch Fox News or MSC and regurgitate like Meinebergs. I mean, Alex Jones, oh, he's your counterculturist? He regurgitate word for word, Sean Hannity, word for word. I mean, that's what else, Trumpettes versus Obamacare, that's all that any of them do. They watch TV, get up in the morning, the politicians do the same. I mean, the narrative is just set, and they regurgitate it like the feigning fucking goat fuckers that they are. Ignorant, selfish people will elect ignorant, selfish leader. And if you don't believe me, look at John Huntsman, billionaire. I asked him, Kevin Blanch asked him straight up. It's common knowledge here. We know Huntsman handed us why he's in, that the dirty Gary Herbert, our governor, and clan voted to fund the SMRs. One blew up. Oh, I tested it. And they started letting the 700,000 tons of depleted uranium in here. Oh, I blocked. Show me the evidence, he says. Where the fuck you been? I mean, it's pretty bad when a guy full of AML leukemia with a YouTube camera's got to educate the billionaire, one of the richest men on earth, ambassador to Russia under the Trump, ambassador to China under Obama, former governor. I mean, again, this is this big of a story because, why? I was given 2 months to live in that room right there. 8 years ago today, I was going in and out of a coma in LDSC State Bone Marrow Transplant Center. The state of Utah has abused me and attacked me like no fucking other, like wolves. I mean, like wolves. You wouldn't believe the way they've attacked me. No public assistance. That's their claim to fame here since Trumpism. This is supposedly a Christian state. They go after the most vulnerable the hardest. Their claim to fame is they kick 30 or 40% of people off food stamps here in this state. Our own money. Ask Huntsman Sr. Mike Lee sent our own money back, so I was one of those guys. I was single male. I was in the LDSC State Bone Marrow fighting for my life. I was a millionaire. I had $1 million bucks, right around millions. I forked every penny over to get in. My bill went way north of that. Had to go on Medicaid. Very short time I was on Medicaid. So remember when Mike Lee, who got $600,000, do as I say, not as I do, Mike Lee, one of the greatest lying scammers, his house got foreclosed on while he was just sitting United States Senator. J.P. Morgan, Deutsche Bank, bought his short sale. That's legal tender in Utah. You get sued for it. They'll garnish your wages up to 75%. They go after the most vulnerable. Buy here, payday joints. They call themselves Christians. They attack the most vulnerable. We have people, and I talked to a doctor here recently, literally coming in here starving to death. Because they're kicking them off food stamps. Our own money, John Huntsman Sr. We're going to run John Huntsman Jr. against him. He sent back our own money, his idealistic Obamacare. This is phony. And then John Huntsman Jr. becomes his campaign manager? You tell me it's not a fucking club. You tell me it's not a club. So that's their claim to fame here. They attack the most vulnerable. It almost cost me my life. He kicked me off. They quit treating me. Remember, my heart was failing. You can watch back the videos. I'm bleeding. I'm going in. I went into I used to call them a quack bee. They've cleaned up their act here. They saved my life. their heart surgery because I went into St. Benedict's bleeding. A guy named Michael Hawkins. In the state of Utah, I guess you're going to be an emergency doctor without being a doctor. He's a chiropractor. I didn't know that. He represented himself as a doctor. It's fraud. I says, it's my heart. It's my heart. The nurse that was in there was one of my nurses in the bone marrow transplant. I says, no, I recognize Kevin. No, I ran the tests. It's not your heart. I mean, yes, it is. It's my heart valve's failing. Nope, ran the tests. He never ran no tests. I collapsed 2 days later, profusely bleeding all over my face. Didn't he clean me up? Whatever. I had a lucky piece of shit because I was uninsured. I collapsed. It almost cost me my life. Emergency open heart surgery in here. I'll quote Dr. Collado. Get in a wheelchair. Your aortic valve's completely collapsed. I need to get this. Yep. Hello. 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 Hi. Oh, God. I mean, when these telecoms cut you, then they're like, oh, yeah, because they're calling 15 times at a time, and they hijack the phone numbers. Again, more third world America. Think about third world America. These scams all over. We're the IRS. We're the Sheriff's Department. We're the EPA. We're IRS. Why don't they clean that up? They could overnight. Just like the so-called immigration problem. Why don't they go after the exploiters, the IRS, with a click of a thing because they like it just because it's a third world country? I mean, debtor's hell. Look at the debt and the deficit. So will he turn them over? Don't matter what the courts say because they're illegitimate. This is monarchyism. So this Michael Hawkins told me to go see my dentist. My aortic valve was completely failed. These guys tell you, I don't know how you're alive. Emergency open heart surgery, completely failed. My aortic valve replaced, my gallbladder. You don't want to know my path. You don't want to walk this path. Trust me, you don't want to go down the path I went down. I think it's impossible what I've done. I did all this historic work while full of critical condition. It's impossible what I've done. Thank you everybody supporting this historic work. You know, I don't know how I haven't starved to death, literally. These people call themselves Christians here. Buy here, payday joint, usury. These are the biggest haters. Jesus Christ. Kill the afflicted, feed the poor. Here, get them off food stamps. Repress them, lock them up. That's what they do. And they call themselves Christians. Stand tuned.